The main questions about the last video and why Daniel is saying things that are negative towards Malaya. I believe he is communicating to her. And I believe that he knows that she has somebody, a lawyer. He feels threatened by that because he knows that there could be a deal being cut. He is worried. And he is especially worried that Malaya could be throwing him under the bus. By the way, that was a glass sliding door. And this is a very, very worrisome situation for him because they had probably a pact. They had an agreement with each other, and the agreement likely stated, I'm not telling on you, and you're not telling on me, because we both lose if that's going to happen. In his statement, Daniel said 100% did not, if he had anything to do with it. Well, the 100% indicates to me that just that he didn't have 100% to do with it, because part of that guilt goes to her. And what he is worried about is that she is going to avoid responsibility. And likely the lawyer is going to, well, he's possibly going to cut a deal and provide a lot of evidence about how her life has gone downhill since she moved in with Daniel, and paint her basically as a young woman, more or less innocent, who got involved with the wrong person, who has responsibility, but only to a smaller degree, and possibly going to paint him as the person who caused her to change, bringing up a lot of other things that have been going on in the house, anything that he can dig up. And Daniel, of course, once he gets arrested, he will get a lawyer to represent him for free. But until he gets arrested, he doesn't have this privilege unless he has some money to put up. And, if he has a lot more money than, let's say, a person working 1 day a week is expected to have, let me say it like this, then suspicions will be raised. Where did he get the money? What else is he doing? As I have stated in my last video, that was only the beginning. So everybody has a different style. Some people, they spend hours on one page. I like to go straight to the highlights and then work my way through it. And of course, this is one where he lies and he lies and he lies and he lies. I'm not being negative towards Malaya. Really. This already is an introduction to what's about to come in the rest of it. I'm not being negative. Okay, let me see. Mom came out and she said Malaya had a look of worry in her eyes that Mom was home. No tears. She wasn't scared the kids were gone. Just a look of worry she got caught for something wrong. Daniel, Daniel, Daniel. Now you want these messages retracted. Because, first of all, I am not even, if anything, I am discrediting what you have stated. So I am not adding to anything anti-Malaya except that I find your message reliable. You 100% did not. She had responsibility in this. But you are trying really, really hard to make it sound like she is the guilty one and you're not. But again, I do not think that it is necessarily him trying to sell us, trying to. He's not able to claim such a thing because it wouldn't be true. But what he wants is to send her this message: you are not being transparent with me. You are talking to a lawyer. I don't know what you're telling the lawyer. I think it kills him not to know. That's why he's why he's trying so hard to present himself to the public as somebody who cares. He talks about the children called me dad. Lily and Jack called me dad and came for me for everything, never Malaya. He is already thinking about a potential court case where maybe Malaya will be a witness against him because she cut a deal. So he already thinks, and by the way, it's not really necessarily him being a great strategist whatsoever, but he is thinking about the worst case scenario. He is thinking about, oh my God, now a jury is going to believe her over me because she is the mother. She is and we had a deal and she's going to forget about the deal. And the chief doesn't want. Look, that lawyer, let's look at this again. He is the chief's brother. So why is that important that the lawyer is the chief's brother? Because Maddow was not granted status. They are distancing themselves from him. At this point, Maddow will not be given a status because that would give Daniel possibly some sort of some sort of access. And that's what worries him. Lily and Jack are now granted Native American status through the mother, and Maddow is not getting it. He's realizing that he is left out in the cold. And there's a good possibility when he sees how people don't believe him. And that's basically mostly because of how much he talked and how much he gave away through his statements. That's on him. He did that to himself, people. So he is always talking about, he talked about sadness turns to anger because there is no evidence. So what does that have to do with evidence? He is angry because despite the fact that there's no evidence, it doesn't matter. People still stare at him, they point a finger at him, they suspect him, and they make crazy accusations online. Silence is the killer. Malaya is not doing media. He wants to know. I never lie. That's a lie. I'm not being negative towards Malaya. I love her. Well, you love her and are negative to her. I mean, these two can be. People lie and people are negative. You can be negative towards somebody you love. So the explanation doesn't fly, but it shows us the state of mind that Daniel is right now. And yes, there is guilt tripping going on as well, as one of you has pointed out. It's a mix of guilt tripping, of saying, please be careful because I can also say stuff. And if you say, I didn't lie about what I told you, there we have something more reliable. But whenever you use the term never, that's indicating your need to portray yourself in a wonderful light. And somebody who says, I never lie, cannot be trusted. I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you. If you're thinking right now, if you're reading this, I can guarantee you some lies that you yourself have told in the past are coming into your mind. When he says, I live in reality, he lives in the reality that both of them have created. And she has escaped the reality. This is how he feels. She will get away with it. And the more she gets away with, the worse it looks on him. And it doesn't matter how great their first date was. What matters now is the reality that everything has turned into. And to expect Malaya to be able to turn back time and forget whatever happened to the children. Does he really expect her to do that? Or is that because he wants her to remember that Daniel she first met, that Daniel he once was, if you will? And with that, overlook everything else that he has done and everything that their life had turned into and everything that happened to her children. I only wish I could tell you. Fine details surrounding the disappearance. I'm skipping this part right now. And I'm putting it into the same context of Malaya and her family. I'm sure he has details about them. So he is worried that they're making him look bad. He's saying, I can make you look bad as well. And this does not indicate an inability to talk about the disappearance. He's telling you he can't. For what reason? It's likely about a promise that they have made to each other. I'm not talking and you're not talking. But it kills him not to know if she is telling the lawyer or anybody or the chief anything. This is similar to Chris Proudfoot telling Yada when she was on that live. There is a reason your family won't talk to you, but I am not going to disclose it. That was a subtle, should I call it threat? Yeah, it was a threat. I think it was an embedded, I think it was a indication into that direction, a subtle but very steady and direct one. If I wanted to, I would be able to say a lot of things. Be careful with what you're going to say. And this particular message, I know now he wants to have everything removed. This again is not a very smart move on Daniel's part because he is telling us, he is showing how fearful he is by making these types of accusations. A look of worry she got caught for something wrong. That's a pretty heavy accusation towards the mother of two missing children. And of course, when he says, I'm not being negative, he doesn't want to be negative towards her. He may not feel negative towards her, but he is scared crapless. And this is why he wants to share the responsibility in the eyes of the public. I would say at this point in time, with him having said so many things, The suspicion towards him is probably at 80%, I would say. 20% her. This is just my opinion, by the way. Now, this is really an opinion, actually. But I think a lot more people suspect him because of how he acts. So he wants to even it out and make it look she is responsible for whatever happened.
On Friday, RCMP say ground search and rescue crews and police will return to the area this weekend, focusing on a nearby pipeline trail where a blueprint was previously located.
I know that they're working hard and they're using every resource they have, and it makes me hopeful because that's all we have at this point is just hope.
And the next thing we knew,
All we have is hope, huh?
it was quiet, and we get up and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call. They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off.
Remember what Daniel said about should I call the police? I believe she did not want to call the police. I believe she didn't want to talk, period. Because this may actually be from experiential memory. But what they often do is introduce something that happened under different circumstances as something that fits the narrative that they want you to adopt. I'm going to continue a little bit.
They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone.
Actually, let me jump to something.
I'm going to keep fighting for the rest of my life.
I'm going to keep fighting for the rest of my life. He expects no results. Let's see what he says next.
Find these kids. That's the only goal I have at this point.
If you don't remember your childhood, you
what's
may
the goal?
be one of us.
Daniel, what is your
Big
goal?
test.
Let me listen to this one more time.
They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone.
I'm going to keep fighting for the rest of my life to find these kids. That's the only goal I have at this point.
I'm going to keep fighting for the rest of my life to find these kids.
Fighting for the rest of my life to find these kids. That's the only goal I have at this point.
They're fighting. That's the
It's
goal.
been more than a month since 6-year-old Lily and 4.
So here's something that Michelle After Dark that has been sent to me, where the stepdad's alleged cousin speaks. And, let's go there. Let's see what this is all about.
Hey guys, I got sent this clip. I think it's from TikTok, by the looks of things. Correct me if I'm wrong.
One of the reasons that I'm using her channel right now is because on YouTube I have the closed caption here. I'm used to YouTube, and let's see if there's something interesting. If it's not, I'm going to switch immediately.
I'm sure will in the comments. This is relating to Lily and Jack Sullivan, who are 6 and 4 years old, siblings currently missing from Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, Canada. And this is allegedly Daniel Martel, who is Lily and Jack's stepdad, cousin. Daniel's cousin. Someone called Logan. I can't authenticate this, so don't come at me in the comments saying, Michelle, this is fake, blah, blah, blah. I can't authenticate it. I'm presenting it. Make your own mind.
Neither can I. But I'm I'm curious.
Whether you believe this person is who she says she is. I have no reason to disbelieve her, but then again, I can't authenticate her identity. Can't go and ask her for a birth certificate or drive.
I listened to parts of it already, and after a minute or two, I decided I'm going to listen to it. That there is a strong likelihood that it's actually her. And I do that based on the language.
License.
I hope I'm right.
No. Okay. So I'm presenting this. You make up your mind whether you believe it's authentic or not. So it's 40 minutes long. I am going to stop it at intervals to comment. And again, I got sent this. I got sent a link. It's to an iCloud account. Someone's taken a clip, I think, from TikTok. I'll put this link that I got sent in the description box. That's all I can do. All right, let's go.
That's all I can do.
You can't expect to see results if you're just walking during the day.
Wait a minute, maybe I should
lost
do that.
15 pounds and 2 pad sizes in 3 weeks.
Let's try this.
Sorry. No, go ahead. But did Mom ever, hey, I just find it so odd. You would think, did any of them ever make the statement that they wanted to look for the children, or did she make a fuss saying, I don't want to leave until I find my kids?
No.
Or... Really?
No. So that's what I stated as well.
So this
because
is Logan.
when I got there, I said, do you want me to stay with the baby? You can go look. She goes, I'm going to stay with the baby. Okay, said whatever. So I went looking.
So this is Logan, allegedly Daniel's cousin, speaking.
So that was the next thing, was when she was told that the baby had to leave the residence.
Okay.
She's exactly told she did not have to leave the residence. They just wanted the baby off the residence, from away from the residence. As this whole scenario isn't something a kid should be a part of.
Who is they? Is it police? Is it CPS? Who is it?
So the baby was going to come to my house. So she's never been apart from the baby. Never. She's meadow.
Okay, so she's meadow. Is she also Lily, Jack, or not at all?
So I said, you're more than welcome to come too. If not, I am comfortable. I have 3 kids of my own. Like Malaya, I can take care of this kid. I can take care of the baby, no problem. So first the baby, it was just going to be the baby, and then she decided she was going to come with me. So, but then something changed, and we were at the briefing. Her mother said something to her, and then I had to take everything out of my car and put it in her mother's car. And like I said, she had this whole plan, she was going to drive her car into my house.
Mm-hmm.
And she was going to, and then the plan changed. Oh, I'm going to take the car to my mother's. I'm going with my mother. Well, she didn't even come back for the car. The search and rescue had her car towed to wherever she was because they left the car. That's how much of a hurry that was to leave. Malaya stayed at the residence Friday night.
And just out of curiosity, because I think you said something and I wasn't quite sure I understood. When did Malaya's mother arrive at the house?
So she arrived Friday. She was there before I got there.
Okay.
On Friday when they went missing. I'm not sure the exact time. We all tried to figure that out. I'm not sure.
Man, what time did you get there? Tell us.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Malaya's mother stay overnight there?
I am unsure, but she was there in the morning when I got back.
Wait a minute. Why would Malaya's mother stay overnight? Why would she have stayed in that trailer with them on the night before May 2nd? What sense does that make? Unless they called her, because this question is, did she like Daniel enough to stay with them? Doesn't seem like it. Let's move on.
I came back, so she could have stayed the night. Like I said, I am unsure because I didn't stay at the residence that night. I went home. And Daniel did pass the lie detector test.
So what was...
Let me listen to
What was
this
Daniel's relationship like with
one more
Malaya?
time, people.
Sure, I understood. When did Malaya's mother arrive at the house?
So she arrived Friday. She was there before I got there.
Friday.
On Friday when they went missing. I'm not sure the exact time. We all tried to figure that out. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did Malaya's mother stay overnight there?
I am unsure.
Okay, she means, I'm sorry, she means from Friday to Saturday, I guess, because it was Saturday when Malaya gave her interview, her only interview, and then the mother. But listen, what did Daniel tell us? But 5 minutes alone with her mother, after the first search briefing, Malaya completely changed. So had her mother been around the whole time and everything was cool, and all of a sudden, after the search briefing, was Malaya told something, were they told something very significant that caused the mother to say, we are going home. We are leaving this place. We are getting out of here. Did they say something to Malaya and her mother in private without Daniel knowing about it? Something that really convinced her to tell her daughter and demand we leave.
She was there in the morning when I got back, when I came back. So she could have stayed the night. Like I said, I am unsure because I didn't stay at the residence that night. I went home.
Okay, so that would be then the Saturday, I guess.
And Daniel did pass the lie detector test.
So what was...
yeah.
What was Daniel's relationship like with Malaya's mom?
Wait a minute.
And Daniel did pass the lie detector test.
According to Logan, yeah. Why? Because he told you? Did law enforcement tell you? Oh, I think he told you. Or maybe you just saw his interview. And by the way, are they obligated to tell him how he did?
So what was Daniel's relationship like with Malaya's mom?
From what I understand, Malaya's relationship with her mother was never great. She didn't want to live with her mother. So Daniel's poison is, from what I understand, poison. Like he always said, and he said this in his interviews over and over again, is every time Malaya got ahead in life, her mother pulled her back. So we'll just go.
Notice how she doesn't want to say directly how his relationship was with the mother before first mentioning that Malaya didn't have a good relationship. So she's telling us before she says anything that must have been the Malaya's mother's fault. And no, I'm not saying she was a good mother or a bad mother. I'm not saying that at all at this time. But it's interesting that she is speaking on Daniel's behalf. We need to detect not only deception, but intention. Statements reveal our intentions.
So Daniel's poison is, from what I understand, poison.
Okay.
Like when I came back. So she could have stayed the night. Like I said, I am unsure because I didn't stay at the residence that night. I went home. And Daniel did pass the lie detector test.
Yeah, sure.
So what was Daniel's relationship like with Malaya's mom?
From what I understand, Malaya's relationship with her mother was never great. She didn't want to live with her mother. So Daniel's poison is, from what I understand, poison.
Okay.
Like he always said, and he said this in his interviews over and over again, is every time Malaya got ahead in life, her mother pulled her back. So we'll just go with that.
we'll just go with that. No, man, why don't you just tell us a little bit more? You see, anyways, let's go forward.
I just find it strange how the grandmother would convince her daughter to leave
the residence
instead of staying with her.
Yes.
To look for these babies.
That woman has never shed a tear the whole time she was there. My dad even stated that. He goes, I cried like my father cried and cried and cried. This is a 55-year-old man. And he cried for those children. And that grandmother didn't shed a tear.
Now, I know you can't speak on Daniel's behalf, but what does he really truly believe happened to these kids?
Oh.
That's something that he has stated all along, that it's something that has to come from him. He believes they were, I think he believes that they were picked up by now, like that they were abducted, because there's no sign of them in the woods. He doesn't believe they're in the woods.
Uh-huh. So he really doesn't believe that mom had anything to do with it.
That's something I don't know, because you always have your line of doubt, right?
Oh boy. So you are his cousin, and you have already shown us now your pattern is to protect Daniel. You're on his side. You're claiming he passed the lie detector test. How do you know that? And now you don't want to go straight into his relationship with Malea's mother being bad without first telling us Malea had a bad relationship. Is it true that Malea's mother held her back? Maybe, but I don't care. This has no significance right now. You're adding something that is unnecessary while also leaving out important information. You're very selective here. You cannot talk about this, you cannot talk about that, you cannot speak on his behalf, but you're so convinced about certain things.
He believes they were, I think he believes that they were picked up by now.
Listen to this.
Would convince her daughter to leave
the residence
instead of staying with her to look for these babies.
That woman has never shed a tear the whole time she was there.
That might also be true, but is that mother a person of interest? Is she a suspect? No, she wasn't there, right? She wasn't around. I care about the persons of interest right now. Yes, it's okay to notice it, but you need to also realize that there are now things she doesn't want to talk about. As if Daniel hadn't filled her in about at least a few things.
My dad even stated that. He goes, I cried like my father.
Right, your family is good and her family is bad. We get the message, but we don't care.
Cried and cried and cried. This is a 55-year-old man.
How unnecessary of so-called information is this? Listen to people who introduce all types of unnecessary information and know that there is an agenda here. She is trying hard to paint a certain picture of her family and then Malea's family. She is protective of Daniel and her family, period. So you cannot expect her to be to the point and only truthful, and you will see the breaks when she speaks. She takes the breaks. She doesn't want to speak about certain things.
And he cried for those children, and that grandmother didn't shed a tear.
Now I
Okay.
know you can't speak on Daniel's behalf, but what does he really truly believe happened to these kids?
That's something that he has stated all along, that it's something that has to come from him. He believes they were.
But you are being asked. We are asking you. And this has to come from him?
I think he believes that they were picked up by now, like that they were abducted.
And also, that misspeaking, picking up. Who's picking them up? Let's listen one more time to this woman.
And that grandmother didn't shed a tear.
Now, I know you can't speak on Daniel's behalf, but what does he really truly believe happened to these kids?
That's something that he has stated all along, that it's something that has to come from him.
If he stated it all along, Jesus Christ. So he told you something, right, that you don't want to reveal, that you're not sure he would want you to reveal. Because otherwise, you could just say it. He believes that why is this a sensitive area to her? What does she truly think? And by the way, you have many cases where, for example, I think in the Scott Peterson case as well, when you have, even family members from Scott Peterson who are still talking on this, they don't believe, deep inside they know, man. You cannot tell me that you are so blind and ignorant and so foolish that you think your brother Scott Peterson is actually innocent. Of course, that's what they portray to the outside. But in this case, her language of doubt gives away a lot more than the unnecessary information and what little she actually shares.
Honestly, he believes they were.
Honestly, right? Honestly. Why are you trying so hard to convince me that you're now gonna be honest? Really? Honestly? Oh, huh. What a surprise, right? Honestly. You mean you were lying the whole time and going, but now you're gonna be honest? Because she knows that there is something that she is not telling us.
I think he believes that they were picked up by now, like that they were abducted.
Picking up, right? That's also present tense. Is there a script? Have they been talking about certain things? Did Daniel tell her partial truth or the truth? Something that Daniel told her she doesn't want revealed to the public. Something. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know how much of it is, but there's something that she does not want people to know. Otherwise, you would worry now about the children and say it all. You would say everything because time is at stake unless you know something happened and there is no need for urgency here. Your dad was crying why was he crying? Okay, why is there sadness and grief everywhere and sorrow? What about the urgency? You would have nothing to hide. Parents would even admit to who knows what in order to help find the children, the missing children.
Because there's no sign of them in the woods. He doesn't believe they're in the woods.
Right. Which is also the statement that he gave in the very beginning. They would have come right back. So I think that Daniel actually knows how ludicrous it would sound that the kids would have walked away. And within 20 minutes, a 4-year-old had gotten so far that he couldn't have gotten him back on foot.
So he really doesn't believe that mom had anything to do with it.
That's something I don't know because, like, you know, you always have your line of doubt, right? Like, you always have your theories and your things. So I can't speak on his behalf on that. Like,
yeah, I understand. It's just I just know that they both used each other as an alibi and in the morning in regards to the situation.
Absolutely. And no, I don't believe he believed or believes that Malaya had anything to do with the children missing.
One more time.
These kids.
That's something that he has stated all along, that it's something that has to come from him. Honestly, he believes they were, I think he believes that they were picked up by now, like that they were abducted, because there's no sign of them in the woods. He doesn't believe they're in the woods.
Uh-huh. So he really doesn't believe that mom had anything to do with it.
That's something I don't know because, like,
are you kidding me? You don't know? Okay, you don't want to express any suspicion or anything, but you mean Daniel wouldn't tell you?
You know, you always have your line of doubt, right?
No, you don't always have your line of doubt. If your wife or common law wife, or if your girlfriend's children are missing or something, if you think that they were kidnapped, why would you have your line of doubts with the person whom you have lived with for 3 years, who has been nothing but good to you, supposedly, allegedly, I think so? Or why would you suspect her? Why would you doubt her? And how would that be possible? Because you were there the whole time with her and the children. How can it possibly be that Daniel had nothing to do with it, but would have some kinds of doubts if they were in the bed the whole damn time, together? What could she have done on her own to create doubts rather than knowledge of something that she would have done? This is pure damage control that this woman is doing. Pure damage control for Daniel. She is worried that he is going to be arrested, in my opinion.
Like, you always have your theories and your things, so I can't speak on his behalf on that. Like,
yeah, I understand. It's just I just know that they both used each other as an alibi and in the morning in regards to the situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They used each other as an alibi. So what she doesn't want to move away from Daniel supposedly having suspicions. But they used each other as an alibi. So both of them would be in it together. But they feel the need to go against Malaya's family because they don't trust what will come from them. Maybe he even told her, we made an agreement, and now they're being silent, and now they have a lawyer, and, I think I'm screwed, and they're going to blame it all on me. Something like that. I would expect something like that to have happened.
And no, I don't believe he believed or believes that Malaya had anything to do with the children missing.
A question that I have.
So why would he have doubt? Why do you say you always have doubt? It's like Malaya saying, as a mother, you always expect the worst or think of the worst. Without saying, I think about the worst of the worst, without telling us why. And she does the exact same thing. She is expressing it, but she doesn't want to commit to it. She keeps it very vague because she's worried if she implicates her, Malaya, she will also implicate Daniel. And if Malaya is being pressed and pushed into a corner, Malea's going to say, no, listen. I'm ready to cut a deal right now. Yes, I did something, or I am responsible, or I have knowledge, or whatever. But so does he, or worse. So they are mad. This is like a, I don't want to say chess. Chess game is a lot more intelligent than this garbage. But you know what I'm trying to say. Like it's chess game-ish, attempted. It's amateur. It's like beginner's chess. Really, that's what it is. It's like beginner's chess. Okay, let's see. No. I don't want to attack too early because they're gonna, take my queen.
Did Malaya have, or do you know, if Malaya had her own cell phone?
Yes, she has her own cell phone. I've called her on it.
Who doesn't?
Okay, and Daniel has his own cell phone.
Absolutely, but
What kind of question is that? But
they're a very open couple.
Okay, all right. Yeah, no, I was just...
Wait.
Or do you know, if Malaya had her own cell phone?
Yes, she has her own cell phone. I've called her on it.
Okay, and Daniel has his own cell phone.
Absolutely, but they're a very open couple.
Okay, all right. Yeah, no, I was just curious.
I see that. Did you think Malaya meant somebody else type deal?
Oh, no, that's not where I was going with this.
I didn't think she was going with that. Why is that on your mind? Is that what Daniel's worry is? Is Daniel worried that she will meet somebody else and then he loses complete control over her? And then who knows? And then maybe she will talk with a new boyfriend about what has happened. And then next thing you know, she got a lawyer and the boyfriend may say, hey, you need to come forward and screw this guy. I know he's a father of your little daughter, but screw this dude. Let's come. Who knows? That is a worry maybe in Daniel. Not only that he doesn't want to lose her as a girlfriend or as a wife. Who cares what they are to each other? They lived together for 3 years. So that's pretty, that's pretty together in my opinion. Regardless of, what status you had. So that's not good. Yeah. So let's not get sidetracked. That's on her mind. That's where her mind is going. And I believe the moderator, that's not where her mind was going at all. But she wants to know something here.
No. No, I was actually thinking back to when Daniel had said that he had gone out looking for the children and that the police, he had offered up his phone to the police to check the GPS
yes.
And, all that sort of thing, right?
Absolutely, yeah. No, they do have separate cell phones.
Okay, all right.
And the cops even gave Daniel a cell phone while they took Daniel's cell phone. So,
Right.
No.
Okay.
I don't know, like I said, whatever she has offered up or whatever she has done, if she had a lie detector test or
whatever. What is whatever?
Whatever she has done, I can't speak on her behalf anymore because I haven't seen her since literally that Saturday, but I haven't spoken to her since that Sunday.
Uh-huh. So did it come as a shock to Daniel that she actually up and left him?
Yes, 100%. Because one moment there was an altercation at the end of the driveway, which was me and one of Malaya's family members screaming at each other. And the cops were called down. So when the cops came down, they took Malaya aside. They took my mother aside because my mother said she was part of the altercation, which she was. I was as well. And my aunt. We all got spoken to by the police. Mm-hmm. Malaya literally told the police officer right then and there, this is the happiest I've ever been. I feel the safest when I'm with here.
What? This is the happiest you've ever been? And your children are missing? Are you kidding me? She knows something that she doesn't want to offer up. I'm not sure what it is, but I know it is something important.
Even when she left, screaming at each other, and the cops were called down. So when the cops came down, they took Malaya aside. They took my mother aside because my mother said she was part of the altercation, which she was. Mm-hmm. I was as well. And my aunt. We all got spoken to by the police. Malaya literally told the police officer right then and there, like, this is the happiest I've ever been. I feel the safest when I'm with here. Like, even when she left, Officer Mason was dead shocked, as was Daniel, that she actually left, because she told the officer that it was the safest she's ever been. So when
after her mother got there,
that was before.
Unless in the briefing, the mother heard something, was told something that made her say, Malaya, this is it. Are you kidding me? We need to go right now. Or maybe she said, we will get a lawyer. Whatever it is, we'll take care of it. Listen, we are a part of or she's a part of what? She lives on the reserve? He said, don't you understand that we have all types of resources available to us that you can take advantage of right now? By the way, thank you so much to the person who just sent this to me. And I will not mention anybody or thank anybody in person unless they tell me that I can. And there's a reason for that. And I'm more than happy. I always give credit. I love to give credit to people who have done good things for me.
Yeah, literally told the police officer right then and there, like, this is the happiest I've ever been. I feel the safest when I'm with here. Like, even when she left.
BS storytelling, man. This is the happiest I've ever been. At that moment, dude. People are, like I say, this woman, of course, has no idea about, communication other than with the people that she's communicating with. And some people, they just don't know how much they give themselves away. I think about that a lot on the interviews with the Interview Room, Chris McDonough, where I'm thinking, oh my God, did you just fall for that? Did you just... But she is.
Officer Mason was dead shocked, as was Daniel, that she actually left, because she told the officer that it...
Again, there is a reason that we don't know yet.
It was the safest she's ever been. So when
after her mother got there,
that was before her mother got to her.
And I just want to clarify, when you're saying that, she was saying that this.
I couldn't hear.
When she left, Officer Mason was dead shocked, as was Daniel, that she actually left, because she told the officer that it was the safest she's ever been. So when
after her mother got there,
that was before her mother got to her.
Let me go to Michelle after dark, because I wasn't prepared for this, to see what CC catches. But listen to this.
Malaya's family members screaming at each other.
That's the argument. So that was Daniel's cousin, allegedly, who was involved in that.
And the cops were called down. So when the cops came down, they took Malaya aside. They took my mother aside, because my mother said she was part of the altercation, which she was. I was as well. And my aunt. We all got spoken to by the police. Malaya literally told the police officer right then and there, like, this is the happiest I've ever been. I feel the safest when I'm with here. Like, even when
I'm with here. I feel the safest when I'm with here. Not when I'm right here. Not when I'm with here with him. But when I'm with here. Such mistakes indicate her being unwilling to commit linguistically to what she is attempting to express. She is basically trying to say two different things without saying either. And that is not so dissimilar to when somebody accused of having committed a crime will give you a variety of different possibilities to look at without committing to any of them.
When she left, Officer Mason was dead shocked, as was Daniel, that she actually left. Because she told the officer that it was the safest she's ever been. So when
after her mother got there.
That was before her mother got to her.
That was before her mother got to her. Now Michelle will pick up on that also. Got to her. Let me hear this.
Before her mother got to her. So the mother is the central figure here. Whatever she said to Malia, allegedly, has created...
Let me do my own thing here.
And I just want to clarify, when you're saying that, she was saying that this is the safest she's ever felt.
Even when she left, Officer Mason was dead shocked, as was Daniel, that she actually left. Because she told the officer that it was the safest she's ever been. So when
after her mother got there.
That was before her mother got to her.
And I just
got to her before her mother. When her mother got there, that was the question, right? Her mother got to her. So everything is about vilifying the mother, and I'm not saying she's a good or not a good person. I am not saying anything about that. It's not really significant. But it needs to be noted that she wants us to believe that Malaya doesn't have her own mind, and Malaya believes in Daniel 100%, and the mother is the bad woman that Malaya didn't get along with, is the only reason that Malaya isn't there now.
Want to clarify, when you're saying that, she was saying that this is the safest she's ever felt, meaning in your company and your family's company.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
So to know that he got home to go contact her.
But even though that may be something, it may be that she is feeling safe with that family, it doesn't have anything to do with what could be a major crime that has been committed. Those are two different issues. So she is painting her own family as absolutely caring and her as emotionless, heartless, while avoiding to answer important questions directly.
So to know that he got home to go contact her, that he was blocked and deleted, was a complete and utter shock.
How old is Malaya?
Malaya is 27, I believe.
Okay.
And Daniel's 30...
32, I believe.
32, okay.
Okay. I just want to mention something. There's 211 people in the room.
Jesus.
Could we get people to tap, please, and just boost the channel? It really, really, really helps the channel a lot. So if you're sitting here watching and you're enjoying the content, please support the channel.
Yes, tap away.
Yes.
Oh, and I described Daniel and Malaya's relationship great, to be totally honest. Like, for every time I've been around and been there, they've completely got along. So I don't know. Every relationship has issues, but I've never. I describe.
Every relationship has issues. I thought you just told us that everything was always great.
Tap away.
Oh, and I described Daniel and Malaya's relationship great, to be totally honest. Like, for every time I've.
To be perfectly honest, first it was honestly, and now she is perfectly honest. That reminds me again of Scott Peterson. How was your marriage? Glorious.
Been around and been there, they've completely got along. So I don't know. Every relationship has issues, but I've never
completely got along. Again.
I described their relationship as great. Like, they became very close. They had a child together. He raises their kids. She helped raise his other kid. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't see any issues.
And has Daniel...
Why not say it was good? I wouldn't even say they got along. I would say, if I was being real, I would say, no, the relationship was good. It was great. They had fun together. They laughed together. They loved each other. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say. Did she say they got along?
But I've never. I described their relationship as great. Like,
listen to this.
Channel a lot. So if you're sitting here watching and you're enjoying the content, please support the channel.
Yes, tap away.
Tap away, man.
Oh, and I described Daniel and Malaya's relationship great, to be totally honest. Like, for every time I've been around and been there, they've completely got along. So I don't know.
Completely got along. I don't know. That's a disclaimer. I don't know. You know, what doesn't she know? What don't you know? Were there signs? Were there any, did you hear something? And are you now selectively memorizing the times when they completely got along? And what is completely got along? How about, and why, if a relationship is not supposed to just get along, right? I mean, be a little more specific. She's avoiding connection here. She's avoiding the human touch, if you will. She doesn't talk from experiential memory in terms of how she felt in the house. How did she feel around them? Were there arguments? Did they say I love you to each other? Did they hug? Did they kiss? Were they touchy-feely, or were they on edge or anything? None of that. Just very, very shallow.
Every relationship has issues. But
yes, so they had issues. That's exactly what she's telling us. They had issues. And she wants to generalize it. Hey, everybody has issues, right? Everybody. So they had issues, but that is not something that we should know anything about.
I've never.
Listen to that. I've never what? She doesn't want to complete the sentence. You hear that?
Around and been there, they've completely got along.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Every relationship has issues, but I've never. I described their relationship as great. Like, they.
But I've never what? I've never seen them fight, and then you cannot say it because you have.
Became very close. They had a child together. He raises their kids around and been there. They've completely got along. So I don't know. Every relationship has issues, but I've never. I described their relationship as great. Like, they.
I described their relationship as great. Why not say their relationship was great? I describe, yes, we know you're trying to make it sound like their relationship was great. If you say I describe it, then please describe it for us. Don't say that you describe it. Do it. Their relationship was great. They were happy together. They were smiling. They were so happy to be around each other, and things just flowed. And I felt so comfortable in the house because they were full of love and full of no. Same as when Katie Proudfoot says, I would say, or I, I forgot it now, the exact wordings, but she's not describing it. Saying that you're describing it is avoiding to actually describe it.
Became very close. They had a child together. He raises their kids. She helped raise his other kid. Like,
yeah, they got close together. Okay. They live together, yes, but is that really the question? We want to know about the dynamics a little bit more. We want to know how they actually gotten along on an every single day basis. Don't tell me everything was normal without telling me what it actually was.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I didn't see any issues.
You know what I mean? Yeah, she needs affirmation. You know what I mean? She needs now to, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know, please tell me you understand and let's move on.
And has Daniel had the opportunity, since this has happened, to visit Meadow?
No.
Okay, why?
So who's preventing him from? Is it Malaya that's preventing him from doing that?
From what I understand, it's Children's Aid.
What?
Yeah, that's preventing him from doing that?
From what I understand, it's Children's Aid.
Oh my God! Wait.
I don't get that at
Michelle
all.
after dark.
So who's preventing him from? Is it Malaya that's preventing him from doing that?
Preventing him. Is it Malaya that's preventing him from seeing the baby, Meadow?
From what I understand, it's Children's Aid.
I don't
What? Children's Day?
understand that if Daniel has got nothing to do with Lily and Jack going missing, why is he not allowed to see his own baby?
Yeah.
His own flesh and blood. Why? Why is this?
Exactly.
Sorry, from what you understand, it's who?
Children's Aid.
Why would Children's Aid withhold access to his child?
I'm not sure. And this is the type of situation.
If you say only, now that dot, I don't know why there's a full stop here. Because what I heard, I'm not sure, and this is the type of situation. If you only say, I'm sure, it's pretty reliable. I don't know. But she adds more words to that.
That I've never been in.
What?
Like he even, I mean...
And he has proved himself over and over again. So, an CPS issue with
What? What are you getting at here, girl? Please. Please. Come on.
It's Children's Aid.
I don't understand that if Daniel has got nothing to do with Lily and Jack going missing, why is he not allowed to see his own baby? His own flesh and blood. Why? Why
Go
is
ahead.
this?
Move on.
Sorry, from what you understand, it's who?
Children's Aid.
Why would Children's Aid withhold access to his child?
Children's Aid Society, right? Children's Aid Society, is it that? Like the CPS?
I'm not sure. And this is the type of situation that I've never been in.
Oh, I see. You've never been in this situation. You feel the need to tell us now. You are not the type of person to ever have been in this situation. Because, let me guess, you're from a good family. And your family is good. And none of this has anything to Daniel, but everything to do with the other side. But you're not accusing Malaya. But you are making a lot of accusations towards her mother. So what are you so worried about? Yeah, you feel bad for your cousin, right? Because he's alone now. But now we're getting into a serious territory here, people. And the serious territory is about Children's Aid, like the CPS, right? They are not allowing Daniel to see his daughter. And the question is why? Has a lawyer been involved? Has the mother? I don't know. But this is of interest. But she's dismissing it. Well, I've never been. I don't care. I don't give a crap about you. I care about this particular situation.
Like he even, I mean...
And he has proved himself over and over again.
What? We're not talking about again and again. We're talking about right now. Right now. What are you hiding? Logan, right? What are you hiding here? What is it that you are dancing around? You're constantly giving us signs of avoiding. You're getting close to something. You say never, never, and then you move on. You don't finish your sentences because you realize some experiential memory of maybe Daniel and her having some serious fights sneaking in. So you stop yourself, and you're not an experienced speaker. You're worse than Daniel, actually. So without you even being accused of anything, you give away a lot more than Daniel has in such a short period of time. That's not 18 minutes. Okay, the total is 14 minutes for the interview. This is from Michelle After Dark. So, Jesus Christ, man.
So, an CPS issue with this is kind of not my spot to say. So, what?
Jesus Christ. It's not your spot to say. You don't want to tell us. You know, but you don't want to tell us. It's not your spot to say. I thought you didn't know. I thought you're not sure. I'm not sure. And you see how it works? How well it works in statement analysis, how people give themselves away. I hope I'm not I'm not overloading your attention.
They don't believe
span.
how toxic this is.
Ugh.
If you're still using a plastic or wooden cutting board, you need to hear this.
Get the hell out of here.
His own flesh and blood. Why? Why is this?
Sorry, from what you understand.
Came very close. They had a child together. He raises their kids. She helped.
So that is all superficial stuff. We want to know what you have experienced in the house. She's point blank not telling us. She doesn't want to.
Raise his other kid, like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I didn't see any issues.
And has Daniel had
I didn't see any what?
Relationship is great. Like, they became very close. They had a child together. He raises their kids. She helped raise his other kid. Like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I didn't see any issues.
And has Daniel had the opportunity?
I didn't see any of this. Any of what? Any what did you not see? What do you know?
Since this has happened, to visit Meadow?
No.
And this is another bizarre thing.
Okay, go
I do not understand how he's not allowed to see Meadow. I don't get that at all.
So who's preventing him from... Is it Nalea that's preventing him from doing that?
From what I understand, it's Children's Aid.
I don't understand that if Daniel has got nothing to do with Lily and Jack going missing, why is he not allowed to see his own baby? His own flesh and blood? Why?
Okay.
Why is this?
Sorry, from what you understand, it's who?
Children's Aid.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Children's Aid withhold access to his child?
I'm not sure. And this is
You see, I'm not sure. And this is the
type of situation that I've never been in.
You see, she knows. I'm not sure. And if you say only, I'm not sure, I don't know. It's a reliable statement. We say, I'm not sure, and then you add a lot of extra words to it and use this disclaimer. That's an indication that you are pretty sure why. You know exactly why. But you're not interested, you're not willing to disclose that to the general public.
Like he even, I mean...
And he has proved himself over and over again. So,
that's not the issue here, that they raise each other's children. He has proved himself. Why you need to prove yourself? If you have a great relationship, you love each other, you raise each other. She is trying to prove something here. She is asked just for general information, but she's trying to prove something.
CPS issue with this is kind of not my spot to say. So what goes on there? But no, from what I understand, and this is the only thing I'm going to say about it, is I believe it is CPS that is doing this right now.
So she believes it is. So I guess she might not know for sure.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Listen, that's why I didn't want to do this.
But why?
Bye-bye.
The only thing I can think is either the conditions of the trailer were so bad.
Oh, do I have to go back?
That
No.
shouldn't.
Sorry, I can't.
Children's Aid.
Why would Children's Aid withhold access to his child?
I'm not sure. And this is the type of situation that I've never been in.
Like he even, I mean.
And he has proved himself over and over again.
That laugh. I've never been in this situation.
So, an CPS issue with this is kind of not my spot to
Kinda not my spot to say, right? Kinda.
say. So what goes on there? But no, from what I understand, and this is the only thing I'm going to say about it, is I believe it is CPS.
The only thing I'm going to say about it, I believe. Did you say you believe it before, or did you say you know?
He raises their kids. She helped raise his other kid. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't see any issues.
And has Daniel had the opportunity, since this has happened, to visit Meadow?
No.
So who's preventing him from? Is it Nalea that's preventing him from doing that?
From what I understand, it's Children's Aid.
Okay, so you know.
Sorry, from what you understand, it's who?
Children's Aid.
Why would Children's Aid withhold access?
And listen how fast Children's Aid. She wants to get out of the subject really, really quickly. Oh, that's a sensitive area here. That's a very sensitive area. And you're trying so hard to paint your family and Daniel as a good husband. But Children's Aid, CPS, has ordered him to stay the hell away from his daughter. That is based on something, and you know exactly what that is. This family is sticking together. They are protecting him. That is her agenda here. That is her intention, to protect her cousin. Nothing else. No more, no less. Everything else is vague. She doesn't want to give real answer. She uses this as a propaganda tool. She may have heard his interviews. She probably saw a lot of people online, well, you know, maybe talking about my channel, hopefully. And she feels a need to do some damage control here and tell everybody how great her family is and how bad Malea's mother is. But that has nothing to do with it. I don't care what Malea's mother has done in the past and how they got along or not. I care about this case. I want to know, and you see you hit home. She hit home too close. And by the way, the channel's name is Susan KL63. I guess it's from TikTok, right? I looked her up on Twitter, but I couldn't find her under this username. So I guess this is a Canadian YouTube, and they are very careful. They're very careful with what they're asking here. Maybe for legal reasons, right?
To his child.
I'm not sure. And
because I would have asked different questions. Similar ones, but I would have gone a little bit deeper on a couple of them. But they're doing good. They're doing well. They get her to talk. I'm happy about this channel. I'm happy about what they're doing here. I'm not sure, right? You're not sure, and?
This is the type of situation that I've never been in.
Like he even, I mean.
And he has proved himself over and over again. So, an CPS issue with this is kind of not my spot to say. So what goes on there? But no, from what I understand. And
you see, first she's not sure, but then she says it's not her spot to say because she could say something and she's avoiding it. You see what I'm saying? How statement analysis works so well. I haven't listened to this yet, but what the language indicates to me, I state it, and then she makes another statement that clarifies it, validates it.
This is the only thing I'm going to say about it is I believe it is CPS. That is.
You don't believe it. You know it.
Doing this right now.
So is it
Like, I'm
Malaya or is it
surprised that
Malaya's mom that has access to the little one right now?
The baby, Meadow is in custody of her mother. Like
Okay.
Malaya has custody of Meadow at the moment.
I don't understand why they wouldn't allow Daniel access.
I don't understand why, if this
And
is a case.
Malaya has the baby.
I don't understand it either, is what she should have said. But I don't understand if this is the case. You see, she doesn't finish her own sentences. She stops herself. Because experiential memory would expose something that she doesn't want people to know about Daniel. This is very interesting, actually. Very revealing. So I'm very happy I decided to give this a shot, even though some people say, well, maybe it wasn't. Yeah, I take my chances. I'm not going to tiptoe around anything. I take my chances. If somebody, the language reveals to me, yes, this is Logan. I listened to it 2 minutes before I started playing it to you guys. For 2 minutes, I listened to this and I felt confident to share it with you all.
Unless she made allegations of domestic abuse. But even then, it would have to go to family court, and he should be allowed at minimal right now supervised access.
Absolutely, and we've been going through all that, but as of right,
unless she made allegations of domestic abuse. But even then,
I haven't heard of it.
The baby Meadow is in custody of her mother. Like Malaya has custody of Meadow at the moment.
I don't understand why they wouldn't allow Daniel access.
I don't understand why, if this is a case.
Malaya has the baby.
Unless she made allegations of domestic abuse.
Yes.
But even then, it would have to go to family court, and he should be allowed at minimal right now supervised access.
Absolutely, and we've been going through all that, but as of right now, we're working on that. So that's something I don't really want to discuss. Is like his doings with the children at the moment.
Right.
Yep.
And that's fair enough.
That's not fair enough. Ask her more about the domestic abuse. I want to know about that. Don't say that. Okay, fine. You want to keep her on.
Right now, supervised access.
Absolutely, and we've been going through all that. But
I hope you guys are
as
still
of
with
right
me.
now,
I don't understand why they wouldn't allow Daniel access.
I don't understand why, if this is a case.
Malaya has the baby.
Unless she made allegations of domestic abuse. But even then, it would have to go to family court, and he should be allowed at minimal right now supervised access.
Absolutely, and we've been going through all that. But as of right now, we're working on that. So that's something I don't really want to discuss, is like his doings with the children at the moment.
So I want to get through this. These are now 3 minutes and 48 seconds. I want to go through this quickly. And as always, like my first, I go prioritize. So I want to be done with this and later revisit it again in more detail. So let's listen a little bit. I try my best to keep my comments to a minimum.
Right. And that's fair enough.
And I don't believe she's met anybody else. Like I said she felt the safest in everything there. So everybody's saying that maybe she met somebody new. I don't believe that. Her and Daniel were great. So I can't.
So just your gut instinct. What do you think? If you're not comfortable, that's fine. I mean, what is your gut instinct? What's going on with Malaya? Why is she doing all of this?
I believe her mother's kind of manipulative. From what I've seen of her.
Why would the mom want to do this?
I don't know. But what I've met of the mother, I've been Daniel and her have been together 3 years. This is the first time I have ever met the mother. And like I said, and when you get vibes from people, she just, even when I was putting my phone number in Malaya's phone for when she was leaving, her mother seemed like I was doing something wrong. Like, she was like, what are you doing with Malaya's phone? Like, what are you doing? I said, I'm giving her my number so she has me to call. Like, I'm a safe place. Like, why are you being so nosy on what I'm doing to your daughter's phone? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why? But when I did try to call Malaya afterwards, like on that Sunday, to check on Meadow and to check on her, she answered. And as soon as she answered, what I got was, I said, how is Meadow? She goes, Meadow is fine. And then I hear in the background, who are you talking to? Hang that phone up.
So she's very toxic. Yeah.
Yes. So then when I called back the next time, because
now she's happy that they are talking about how toxic the mother is, because she hopes that people may overlook the important questions that she has been avoiding and didn't want to answer, right? And by the way, I am not saying she isn't toxic, but that is not our priority here. That wouldn't be my line of questioning. Maybe a little bit. I would like to get an idea, but I always say it in the cases that I'm most familiar with. When people are in toxic relationships, it comes from somewhere. It often goes back to their home life. So if she had a toxic mother, then maybe Daniel's toxicity became more bearable for her. And maybe people who grew up in a healthy household would look at the relationship Daniel and her had and say, oh my God, this is a horrible, toxic, violent relationship. Domestic abuse. What was it? Domestic violence or domestic? I forgot, man. I'm tired right now. Domestic abuse, right? Something like that. I forgot the exact wordings. I don't want to rehash this right now. But and she said in the beginning, she said she was interrupted. She started saying we, and she said something else. She went back to, we have been going through this. So they are all there for Daniel. Everything that she's saying. And by the way, when are you going to talk more about Jack and Lily? Are you not interested in knowing what happened to them, how they are feeling right now at all? I forgot if she mentioned their names or not, but maybe you guys remember. What about that? You want to sell the abduction theory that law enforcement already told us? No, there wasn't. You're trying to sell this to us, and you're not appealing to the abductor. You're not expressing any worry about it. You think the kids are still alive, right? Probably. If they were abducted, they wouldn't be freezing to death in a forest somewhere, and they wouldn't have been gotten rid of by, at the Fundy Basin. But that's not your concern at all. Your only concern is Daniel, and now she loves it. She loves to hear them refer to that mother as toxic. That's right up her alley, dude. Because now, yes, now suddenly she's waking up,
I'm very persistent. I'm going to call the next day. My number was blocked. So, little trick on your phone. If you're blocked, you can private your number and it will still go through. So I did call, but I didn't say anything because I wanted to see who would answer the phone. Her mother answered the phone, and she went Malaya's phone, so I did not talk, and I just hung up the phone because I knew I wasn't going to get anywhere. You're a 27-year-old girl, and your mother has custody of your phone. I think there's an...
What happened to Jack and Lily? What do you know? What do you know? You know more than you're telling us. Honestly, yes, honestly. He believes. I don't believe they were abducted. What do you know? What are you hiding? She has knowledge. She has more knowledge than she is giving away about several different subjects.
Issue there.
In my opinion only, by the way. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. Everything I'm stating is my opinion and my opinion only. I'm not a judge. I'm not a member of the jury.
Just hung up the phone because I knew I wasn't going to get anywhere. You're a 27-year-old girl and your mother has custody of your phone. I think there's an issue there.
Interesting.
She seems very toxic to me, and like I said, yes, very controlling, and that's how Daniel has described her to me because I've asked about her.
Was Daniel controlling?
Yeah. Jack, it's time to go to bed, baby.
Oh, so she has a child named Jack also. Okay.
No, it's time to go to bed, baby. That 3-hour late nap was not a great idea.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting this crazy thought. What if she has a children? No. That would be nice, right? I guess she has a son named Jack as well, around that similar age.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, no, yeah. So if there's not anything else, I'm going to try to get this little creature to go to bed. But yeah, I kind of hope that I helped squash some.
Trying to hope. Do or do not do. There is no try. Yoda, I'm trying to hope. Oh my God. This woman is so vague and she is actively avoiding any type of commitment to anything that she has just said. She has no intention of answering the important questions. I'm trying to hope. She's not hoping. She doesn't care. It makes no damn difference to her. But she is trying to hope, and she is hoping that she made Daniel look a little bit better.
You know, Logan, I want to thank you.
But yeah, no, yeah. So if there's not anything else, I'm going to try to get this little creature to go to bed. But yeah, I kind of hope that I helped squash some.
You know, Logan, I want to thank you.
Squash somewhat. She can't even say rumors. She cannot. What about trying to help? You cannot commit to anything.
Again, so much for trusting this channel. I understand that you haven't ever spoken out. You have not spoken to the media.
I won't speak to the media. I've been contacted daily.
Well, again, channel. I understand that you haven't ever spoken out. You have not spoken to the media.
I won't speak to the media. I've been contacted daily.
Well, again, I just want to thank you so much. I really, really appreciate and the trust that you have in me, in the channel, in our mods, and you are very welcome back anytime.
Thank you. Like I said, phone, so I did not talk, and I just hung up the phone because I knew
I'm going back to Michelle after dark for a minute or two to see if I can read something I didn't catch.
wasn't going to get it.
Actually, that does make sense because there was I don't know which reporter it was from one of the news channels, tried to contact Malia, and it was the mother that answered and said that she wasn't doing any interviews or I don't know the words, I'm paraphrasing. But yeah.
I'm not saying that what she says regarding the mother is incorrect. I'm saying she gets extremely excited talking about that while avoiding what's important.
That did happen to one of the reporters as well.
You're a 27-year-old girl and your mother has custody or your phone, I think there's an issue there.
Interesting.
She seems
Very interesting. That is controlling behaviour.
very toxic to me, and like I said, yes, very controlling, and that's how Daniel has described her to me because I've asked about her.
Yeah.
Jack, it's time to go to bed, baby.
And no, that's not Jack who's missing. She's got a kid called Jack.
Good to know.
No, it's time to go to bed, baby. But 3-hour late nap was not a great idea. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, yeah. So if there's not anything else, I'm going to try to get this little creature to go to bed. But
all right, so that's the end of it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, I can't authenticate.
Great. Now I didn't even get what I wanted to get. So apparently Daniel was at the vigil, and again, it's very important for him to be seen as fighting, but this woman had something to hide, in my opinion, Logan. And I hope it is good for everybody when I do direct reactions, meaning I hear something for the very first time, just as you guys. And this is how I like to do it whenever there's something brand new. Because otherwise, I will take it apart for hours and hours and hours, and then I will have to think about which parts I'm going to present in the video. So I will listen to this now one more time, unless something else comes up, because there is a lot of sensitivity in her language, indicating knowledge of something related to the disappearance. In my opinion, she knows more than she's telling us, and the question is why. Also about the reason that Daniel is not allowed to see Meadow, which is important. And of course, what she's doing, she wants to talk about the mother that Malaya didn't have a good relationship with before. And what I just heard from Mrs. She might, maybe she's controlling, maybe not. Maybe she, but if it's true that reporters keep trying to call Malaya, maybe Malaya even said, I don't want to answer this phone right now. And Mom said, don't worry, I handle this. I can be a real B-word with these people. Don't worry. You just sit back. I'm going to do that. So she screens the calls. But yeah, I think she's probably controlling. But in this particular instance, I think that would be something that a parent may do. To say, you're being bombarded, you're going through a hard time. But of course, the silence of the mother is very, very alarming as well. So like I said, I think they both know what happened. They both had something to do with it. That's only my opinion, people. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but I think I have laid it out in my last few videos what I believe has happened. And no, that was not Jack in the back